Sonny plans to turn himself in to save Alexis, just as Anna and Chase receive an alarming piece of evidence in Kate's murder. Thursday, October 10, 2024. Today on General Hospital, Laura and Lucky are reunited. Michael saves Christina from making a huge mistake, and Olivia makes calls to help find Lulu a donor. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Diane shows up at the warehouse to speak to Jason. She is out of options to save Alexis and needs him to convince Sonny to confess. Jason says he doesn't have to, as Sonny has decided to turn himself in, and he's telling Carly right now. Jason thinks there must be a way to free Alexis without Sonny going down. Diane says the gun Alexis disposed of hasn't been found, so there is nothing left to help her. Jason says this can't be the end of Sonny, and he should have killed Kate's when he had the chance. Deanna reminds him that Kate's was a federal agent, and even he wouldn't have gotten away with killing him. Jason feels what happens to him isn't as important as what happens to Sonny and Carly. Diane argues his sons would disagree. He says Danny and Jake are used to living without him. Diane understands why he took Kate's original deal, and it was noble of him, but his life is worth just as much as everyone else's. So think about how his boys would react the next time he wants to sacrifice himself for someone else. More shocking soap couples. Sonny stops by Carly's place, and she lets him know that Holly Sutton is looking for him. Also, she's being trailed by someone. She explains she was followed to a dinner with Brennan, and she suspects Martin put a tail on her to prove Sonny is guilty. Sonny calls it a smart move and says this has gotten out of control, so he's going to confess to killing Kate. Carly says as his alibi, she'll go down with him. Sonny says there is no other way, and Carly realizes he's right. Sonny tells Carly she won't go to prison, and that he will have a plane ready for her and Donna to get to a country without an extradition agreement. Carly won't do that as he'd never see Donna again. She also says Lucky isn't a viable donor for Lulu, so she can't leave her family now. She may be able to beat the charges against her, but he won't beat a murder charge. She knew what she was doing by helping him, and Kate's was a danger to their family and kids, and now their kids are safe. He notes all it cost them was her parents. Sonny calls Diane, who is still with Jason. Sonny says he's with Carly, and they need to talk. Jason soon arrives. Sonny is still talking with Diane on the phone and tells her that she knows what to do. Sonny gets off the phone and lets Jason know that he's turning himself in, and Diane is making a deal for him. He's going to confess to killing Kate's and everything else the feds want from him. Sonny will give them everything in exchange for ensuring only he goes down for Jagger's death. More Stephen Weber back to General Hospital. Martin visits Alexis late at night in Pentonville. He believes Jack Brennan may be the key to her salvation and explains he's a known playboy and was hosting a late-night date with Carly in his suite. However, Brennan seemed to catch on to his PI, which doesn't shock Alexis, given he's a WSB agent. He has a picture of Brennan and Carly together, but Alexis thinks it isn't enough to bust Carly's alibi. He notes it's the only card they have to play to take attention off her and Christina. Martin reminds Alexis that she can't help her children from a prison cell, and Carly will be out there free to entertain eligible bachelors while she sits behind bars. Alexis gives him permission to turn the photo over to the police. More, who is replacing Hoda on today? In Anna's office, Christina tells her that she has information on the night John Cates was killed. Anna warns her she should have a lawyer. Christina appreciates her concern, but knows what she's doing. Anna asks where she was the night Cates was murdered. Christina explains she was at her mother's house, but also went to her daughter's grave. However, she went somewhere else. Hannah knows she seemed confused when talking to Chase about whose car she drove that, and they know Alexis drove her car to the Quartermains. Christina says that is not true. Suddenly, Michael bursts in and tells Christina not to say another word. Michael tells her she knows not to talk to the police without a lawyer and drags her out. Later, Anna is on the phone discussing the case against Alexis with someone. Suddenly an alarm sounds, and Chase bursts in and says they need to evacuate because of a bomb threat. Outside the station, Chase tells Anna that a package with a possible bomb, as detected by their dogs, was delivered and left in a blind spot, so it wouldn't be on their cameras. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. Later, they learn the package was a false alarm and there's nothing explosive in it. Chase and Anna are given the package, a small rectangular box wrapped in brown paper. Chase suggests they open it. Later, Martin shows up at the PCP and tells Chase he has evidence he needs to give Anna that could help Alexis. Chase tells him to give it to the federal prosecutor. Chase goes into Anna's office, and she opens the package. Inside is a 9mm gun, just like the one Alexis disposed of that could exonerate her. Michael and Christina go to the coffee house, and Michael admits he had Spinelli put tracking software on her phone to keep tabs on her. She can't believe he is spying on her. She says she must help her mother, and they both know she's going down for a crime their father committed. He warns her not to do anything impulsive. Christina agrees to listen to him and keep quiet for now, but she will speak out if things change for her mom. More. Ryan Seacrest's Wheel of Fortune blunder. At the hospital, Liz checks on Dante, who is sitting with Lulu. Dante wants to make sure someone is with her as much as possible. He tells her that he promised Rocco they'd find Lulu a donor, but almost all her blood relatives aren't a match, which means finding a stranger and convincing them to donate part of their liver. Liz promises the hospital will use every resource available to them to find Lulu a donor. Olivia arrives as Liz is leaving Lulu's room. The nurse lets Olivia know Dante needs her. Olivia learns Lucky isn't viable, and they have to hope to find someone in time to save Lulu. Olivia says they will do more than hope. Olivia contacts Nina to get the word out about Lulu through Crimson, and she calls all her contacts in the old neighborhood. She says they are going to convince so many people to get tested to help save Lulu. In the hospital chapel, Lucky prays for guidance when Laura appears. They embrace, and she's so grateful he's home to help his sister. She asks if he's seen Aiden, and Lucky says he has, and he's a good kid. He credits everything Aiden has become to Liz. Laura asks about his reunion with Liz, who was the one who told her that he was in here. He realizes Liz didn't tell her, and he's sorry, but he can't be Lulu's donor. Lucky explains his liver isn't healthy enough, and it's due to a parasite he picked up somewhere in Africa. Lucky cries that he can't make up for failing Lulu when she was a baby and being unable to save her then. Laura says he's not failing her, and he can give her his love and strength and convince her to pull through. Lucky says if that doesn't work, then this is on him. If he hadn't stayed away, if he hadn't been in combat zones, then he wouldn't have this parasite, and he could save his sister. Laura says he is not to blame, as he had the right to live his own life. He knows he had responsibilities here, and he still stayed away. She can't argue with that, but he affected many lives around the world by helping save doctors and clinics. Lucky laments he can't save the life that means the most. Laura says Lulu would not blame him. Laura always knew he'd leave Port Charles, as he is so much like his father and was on the run with her and Luke for so many years, and it's in his blood. She flashes back to the Triple L and how it exploded, and they were separated from him for weeks. However, she and Luke knew he could take care of himself, and though she knew he would eventually leave Port Charles to thrive, she also knew he'd come back when he was needed the most. Lucky wishes he could do something for Lulu. Laura says Nicholas was just as crushed that he couldn't be a donor. She feels Nicholas felt helping Lulu could make up for his bad choices. Lucky understands wanting to make amends. Lucky wishes he had been here earlier for his mom to lean on, given all she went through. She embraces Lucky and thinks she'll be leaning on him plenty in the next few weeks. Laura tells Lucky that Lulu's body is shutting down and time is not on her side. If they have to let her go, she wants him to hold her hand while she says goodbye. He promises he will, and she cries, "Thank you," as they embrace again.